Hello my lovely fans, it is another beautiful day as I welcome you to Menalights TV. So today we are continuing with the more questions, and then this is the question that we have for the day. Dr. Mena, a businesswoman at Avipa, imported goods valued at 600,000 cedis. At the clearing port, the following were charged on the goods. That's one, the NHIL, that's 2.5%. VAT 12.5%, COVID-19 1%, and other duties 4%. So the first question is calculate the total charges on the goods. That's the first question. Then the second question, the total cost of the goods. Then if Dr. Mena wants 20% on the goods, how much should she sell the goods? So this is the question that we want to look at this time. So we take the first one to calculate the charges on the goods. So we want to find the total charges. So we know that the goods are valued at 600,000 cedis. That is the value of the goods before the charges were being calculated on this. So when you look at the charges, the NHIA, that is 2.5 plus VAT 12.5% plus COVID, which is 1%, then plus other duties 4%. So when we add all this, 2.5 plus 12.5 will give us 15 there, plus 116 plus 4 will give us 20%. So this 20% is the charges that were calculated on the goods. So we are now going to find the 20% of the value of what? The goods that the woman imported. So that will be 20 over 100 times the 600,000. 20 over 100 times the 600,000. So here, these two zeros will do away with these two that we have here. So the 2 times 6 will give us 12. Then we have 1 0 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So you bring all the zeros. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it means that the total charges here is what? 120,000. So this 120,000 is the charges on the goods that is valued at what? 600,000 cedis. So to find the total cost of the goods. So for us to find the total cost of the goods, the total cost of the goods is the same as for the value of the goods plus the charges on the goods. So the value of the good is 600,000 plus the charges. And the charges is 120,000. So when we add 120,000 to 600,000, that will give us 720,000. So this 720,000 cedis is the value of the goods, is the total cost of the goods imported by the woman. So we come to the C part of the question. If Dr. Mena wants 20% profit on the goods, how much should she sell the goods? So before we can get a profit, we say profit is equal to selling price minus cost price. But from the question, we are not giving any selling price. But through the calculation, we know that the cost price of the goods is 720,000. That is the cost price. But we are not giving selling price. So we have to find the selling price, then we know what? The profit percentage. So we know that profit percentage or profit percent is equal to profit over cost price times 100. So profit over cost price times 100, that will give you the profit percentage. Then what we can do is, we are going to represent this profit with what? The selling price minus cost price. So our profit percent should not be equal to profit. So the profit is the selling price minus the cost price. So you say what? Selling price minus cost price over cost price times 100. So that is the profit there. Then what we have to do is, we know that the profit percentage times cost price is equal to selling price minus cost price all times what? 100. So the profit percent is the same as the selling price minus cost price all over cost price times what? 100. So here we can cross multiply this over 1, we cross multiply. So profit percentage times cost price is equal to, so this 100 will multiply the selling price here. So 100 selling price minus 100 cost price. So from here we know that the profit percent is given as 20%, and then our cost price is the same as 720,000. That is our cost price there, 720,000. So we are going to put these values into the equation and see what we will get. So here 20%, that is 20 times the cost price, 720,000, which is the same as 100 selling price minus 100 times the cost price, which is 720,000 there. So from there what we have is 2 times 72 will give us 144. So 144 there. Then the zeros 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros there. So 1, 2, 3. Then which is equal to 100 selling price minus, so this will also multiply. We have 7200 plus 2 zeros again. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So here what we have is 14,400,000 and then 72 million. So we are going to add these two and see what to get. So we have 14,400,000 plus 72 million, which is equal to 100 selling price. So when we add 14 to 7, 86,400,000, which is the same as 100% selling price. So we are looking for the selling price. So what we have to do is divide both sides by 100 and divide this side also by 100. So these two zeros will deal with this one, then we are left with the selling price there. So now that we have the selling price, then 1, 2 also deal with 1, 2, then we are left with 864,000. We have 3 zeros there. So which is the same as 864,000. So it means that our selling price here is the same as what? 864,000. If Dr. Mena wants to make a 20% profit, then she needs to sell the goods at 864,000. So this 864,000 from the calculation is the selling price of the goods if you want to make what? A 20% profit. So alternatively, we know that the selling price is the same as the profit plus cost price. So we are given the profit percent as 20. So what we do is 20 plus 100 will give us 120. So 120% of the cost price. 120% of the cost price. So the 120% is the 120 over 100 times the cost price, which is 720,000 cedis. So 1 0 from here, another one from here. So when you do your calculations well, you realize that you are getting 864,000 cedis. So this 864,000 cedis is our selling price. We come to our second question. That says, a ladder is placed against a wall which is 8 meters high. The distance of the foot of the ladder from the wall is 6 meters. Find the length of the ladder. So that's the question that we have there. Find the length of the ladder. So a ladder is placed on the wall. So assuming this is my wall. So this is my wall here. And a ladder is placed on this wall. So we have the ladder here being placed on the wall. The question is telling us that the length of the wall or the height of the wall is 8 meters. And that 8 meters, this is the ladder that we place on the wall. So the height of the wall is 8 meters. Then the ladder is being placed on it. Then the distance of the foot of the ladder from the wall. So this is where we have the foot of the ladder, and this is where we have the wall. And say the distance from the foot of the ladder to the wall is 6 meters. So you have the 6 meters here. And now they're asking us to find the length of the ladder. So that length of the ladder, let's say it is equal to x. So you want to find the value of the x here. Now what we know is that we have the Pythagoras theorem. And with this Pythagoras theorem, it says that the longest side of the right-angled triangle. So if this is what we have, it means this is what? We have a right angle here. And this becomes the longest side of the right angle triangle. So the longest side of the right angle triangle is called the hypotenuse. So we use 8 for it. 8 for hypotenuse. That's the longest side. So this longest side is the same as the length of what? The ladder. Then we also have, if the angle is here, then this is what? Opposite, and this becomes what? Adjacent. So let me say this is my adjacent here, and this is my what? Opposite. So it means that for us to find x, which is the hypotenuse, we say the hypotenuse square is equal to opposite square plus adjacent square. Hypotenuse square is equal to opposite square plus what? Adjacent square. So from the question, and the opposite is giving us here 8 meters plus that of the adjacent, which is 6 meters. So from here we can say that the x squared is equal to 8 meters all squared plus 6 meters all squared. So our x squared is equal to, so the 8 meters squared, that is 8 times 8. So 8 times 8 will give us 64 meters squared plus then 6 squared, that is 6 times 6. So 6 times 6 will give us 36 meters squared. So our x squared is equal to 64 plus 36. So 64 plus 36 will give us 100. So that is 100 meters squared there. But we are looking for x, not x squared. So what we have to do is to find the square root of both sides. So x squared, the root of x squared is equal to root of 100 meters squared. Root of 100 meters squared. So this will cancel. Our x is equal to, so the square root of 100 is 10 meters. The square root of 100 meters squared is what? 10 meters. So from there we can say that the length of the ladder is 10 meters. So 10 meters is what? Is the length of the ladder placed on the wall. That is 8 meters, and then it is what? 6 meters away from the wall. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. Remember to subscribe to this channel, Menalights TV, for more updates. Menalights TV, when the sun rises. Thanks so much.